when does a woman know the man's financial statement?
She can tell by the conversation. Sometimes. Now, the ones that matter, let me just say this. The ones that matter, there are men who are blue collar workers who are well versed. Like I've seen guys who don't go to college and they're like mistaken with saying her husband. Well, he went to college, but he was always that guy. So those are the guys who can get by without going to college. Like you can have a conversation with them and you'll never know, and it's perfect. But a lot of times that's not the situation. You can kind of tell by the way they carry themselves. Like Trill said, when you go to school, you learn more than just the academic portion. It's more like you learn how to move, how you carry yourself, all of these things. So when he comes to the dinner table, he just comes a little different than a person who may be,
And let's be honest, some of these women, they probably, you going on that initial date, y'all say, oh, what do you do for a living? Let's just say he says a teacher. She's probably going to go home and Google the standard teacher salary in the state that they live in. So whether she come right out and ask him what his salary is, she's going to, it's terrible. It really is. But she's gonna be able to gauge that later on after that date is over. So yeah, he might have been attracted. He might have been attracted to her, but now she can't even get past the salary part because that's all she's stuck on.
Let me tell you this. Y'all talk about teachers, but every man in that building has a wife. Every man at my school is married to someone. No, I was just saying that.
I'm taking it personal. Nobody's coming.
No, I see her point.
What I'm saying to you, when you go to school, when you're in the
men teachers are married.
Undoubtedly, it's not that big of an issue because every man that walks in our building, because trust me, I be looking, they be all married. So undoubtedly, these women do not care about them being teachers.
Or he found him, or he found him someone that did not care that he was a teacher.
But it still goes back to a lot of, and I know we're probably not talking about this segment, but a lot of Black successful women don't marry men who are above their financial bracket. I mean, that's just really not the case. And it goes back to, I know what Mistaken was saying. Sometimes there's a biblical aspect of that too when we talk about men leading, right? I mean, I guess that depends on your religion and what your beliefs are. But Christianity, the man is supposed to lead. And with women who believe in that philosophy, whether it's for Christianity or any other reason, most women want a man to lead them. Many women prefer that. It's just, I think Shantae was talking about preference. Do many women want a man who makes more, who carries himself with swagger, who is competent, intellectual, emotionally, as well as academically? There are tons of factors. Trill, you listed a list of characteristics and traits that many women are attracted to. And you're absolutely right. But the unfortunate fact is that found in that man who makes whatever financial bracket that many women desire? Do we find that wrapped up in a bow? And the reality is, and we can research it and look it up, but the reality is when we research that, many times that's not the case. And those people who get married are together for quite a while. You think about the people that who one person, the woman is successful, and the man may not be as financial, since we're talking about the whole financial gamut, may not be on the financial status, but the people that I'm familiar with or know people through other people, they've been together for a really long time, still together. There are people I look at and I wonder, how are they are together? Whether they've gone through hard times, challenging times, they're still rolling.
But I'm not gonna lie, I've seen that too, and the guy be kind of beta, like they would consider beta.
Okay, you got to educate me. What's beta?
Like she kind of, running the shots. It may not look like it, but she kind of like calling the shots. And he's just like, okay.
Right, which is what.
They married, but they betas, huh?
Right, but again, just like I say all the time, man, just because you're a man does not mean that you're built to lead. It's a lot of men out here that are following their woman's lead. That's just what it is. So just like Ms. Mistaken was saying earlier, she said, I know a bunch of dudes, whatever wife was the breadwinner, and they moving in harmony. She still respected him as far as we know. Key word there was as far as we know. Behind closed doors, be a totally different situation. You know what I'm saying? Because I make more money than you. And let's just be honest here. A lot of men in that space, I know two right off the top of my head, feel emasculated and feel like they don't have the leverage to challenge anything that this woman says because she's making so much more, and because I done got used to this lifestyle, and now I got kids invested, and just men don't like to give up on relationships in general. Let's just put that out there, right? But especially in a sense to where the income dynamic is so different, and I came into this not leading. So what Shantae is saying, it may be funny, but it's the truth. A lot of men in that situation are betas, and they are willing to follow their woman's lead, and they work in harmony. You know what I'm saying? Because of that's just what his personality is, right? But if you run into like just a super alpha dude, which I hate these terms that they use in this space. But you run into that super alpha dude who's successful in his own right, who's a leader and all of this, that, and the third, they oftentimes are gonna clash more times than not. You know what I'm saying? Compared to that dude who tends to, and let's just be honest, if the woman is dominating in that, if you look at if you find 10 couples like that, I guarantee you 9 of them, the husband is super laid back. Super laid back. He's like, oh, all right, boo, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's not necessarily like she's just dominating him, but that's just his personality. He's just laid back. All right, it's cool. Laissez felt like he'll step in here and there, when it's necessary in terms of whatever. But that dude is typically super laid back, and the woman is calling the shots, and he followed in line. But their relationship worked. So I mean, how can you say it's wrong at the end of the day? So yeah.
Anybody else wanted to add to that conversation?
I just wanted to say one thing, that there has been an increase. I know, like we were talking about hypergamy, but there has been an increase in hypergamy among women because of the fact of women are outpacing men in terms of education. Now, hypergamy is still there, don't get me wrong, but it has definitely been a significant increase in women marrying down because they do have less compatible, mates at their level. So when you're saying what most women want, yes, they want somebody that's at their level or above. But the reality of it is that for women, especially, the higher up they are, the less options they have in terms of definitely Black women, the less options they have, and in terms of meeting a partner that's at that level or more. So so definitely hypergamy is on an increase where women are marrying down.
So marrying down, so I can make sure this is right. So marrying down is based on finances.
Not just finances. It can be social class, status, education, just in terms of that balance.
Okay.